cell, structure and functional unit of life. So this we need to proceed further. Various other components or organelles of cells are as follows. So let's have a quick look on the cell organelles. First one is plastid. It's present only in plant cell and is absent in animal cell. Mitochondria. It is present both in plant cell as well as animal cells. Vacuoles. Present in plant cells and in animal cell, either they are absent or they are present in very small size. Fourth cell organelle is endoplasmic reticulum. It is present both in plant cell as well as animal cell. Fifth one is Golgi bodies. It is present both in plant as well as animal cells. Sixth, lysosomes. It is also present both in plant as well as animal cells. Seventh is cell wall. It is present only in plant cells. So these are few cell organelles that we have discussed. Next, the most important cell organelle is nucleus. Let us study about nucleus. Nucleus is generally spherical body and is located in the center of the cell. It can be stained and can be seen easily with the help of a microscope. It acts as a control center for all the activities of a cell. Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called as nuclear membrane. This membrane also allows the movement of materials between the cytoplasm and the nucleus. So let us have a look on the structure of a nucleus. So this is a structure of nucleus. This is the nuclear membrane shown with a broad brown color, but there is some gaps over here. So these gaps which are present, these are the nucleopore. So pore means a small hole. So nuclear membrane is actually separating nucleus from the cytoplasm. So nucleus is having a separate membrane which is separating the nucleus from the cytoplasm. So nucleus, as it has a nuclear membrane, so the material which can go into the nucleus and can go out from the nucleus into the cytoplasm, for that there is a pore-like structure which is called as a nucleopore. So things can go in and out through nuclear pore only. So let's look at the structures of nucleus. So one is the nuclear membrane, which is the boundary of the nucleus, nucleopore, nucleolus, which we'll be studying just in few minutes. Then is chromatin, then is the nucleoplasm. So these are the structure of nucleus which we'll be studying one by one. Nucleus. It is located in the center of the cell. Nucleus is the storehouse of genes. Without nucleus, cell can neither survive nor show specialized activities. So nucleus, as I earlier also told, it is the brain of the cell. All the commands, all the messages, all the decisions are being taken by nucleus to guide the cell to what to do, what not to do. So these are the basic parts of a nucleus: nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm, nucleolus, and nuclear material. Nuclear membrane. So let us first study about nuclear membrane. Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called as nuclear membrane. So nuclear membrane separates the nucleus from the cytoplasm. This membrane has pores, and these pores allow the movement of material between the cytoplasm and inside the nucleus. So this we have already discussed also. So nuclear pore is going to allow few things to enter into the nucleus and few things to go out from the nucleus so that they can go to cytoplasm. Next is nucleoplasm. So what is nucleoplasm? It is the cytoplasm of nucleus, and that means the ground material, जो उसका सारा basic material है. So that is the nucleoplasm. As the cell has a cytoplasm, similarly, so whatever is present, the ground material of the nucleus is called as a nucleoplasm. So in other words, we can say it is the cytoplasm of a nucleus. Next is nucleolus. So in the diagram you can see this is nucleolus. So what is nucleolus? It is a small oval body which is rich in proteins and RNA. Ribonucleic acid is the full form of RNA. Ribosomes formation occurs in the nucleolus. So this is the function of nucleolus, that the formation of ribosomes takes place. Ribosomes is an organelle which is present in the cell and is directly or indirectly helpful in the survival of the cell. So it is a very important cell organelle, ribosomes, and the function of ribosome is protein synthesis. They synthesize protein, so they make protein which is required for the living organisms. So proteins are required in our body for making of enzymes, for hormones, for growth, repair, and many more such functions. Nuclear material. Now let's study about what is nuclear material. What is nuclear material? It contains chromosomes, and these chromosomes are made up of DNA and proteins. This is the full form of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. So chromosomes, every organism has a fixed number of chromosomes in their nucleus, and it's fixed for the entire body. For example, let's take an example of human beings. So inside the cell of a human being, the nucleus contains 46 chromosomes. So this is fixed for a human being. So whether we consider a cell of a head or a toe or a stomach cell or a liver cell, in all the cells you will find that the number of chromosomes will remain the same, and that is 46. So we say 46 chromosomes for human being, or we say 23 pairs. So let's study further. Segments of DNA are called as genes. So a part of the DNA will be called as a gene. Now what is gene? Gene act as a hereditary vehicle. Hereditary vehicle means it actually carries the characters from parents to offsprings, means from parents to the next generation. So it is the genes which is actually going to handle the characters in living organisms. Later on, it converts into chromosomes. Chromosomes are ribbon shaped and are made up of DNA and proteins. It has points like structures which are called as genes. For example, if mother has a blue eyes, her daughter also has a blue eyes. This is due to the hereditary characters, that transfers of characters from the parents to the offsprings occurs through these genes. So, could you now understand that why we resemble our parents or our grandparents? Because we get genes from them, and genes are hereditary vehicles. They carry these characters from the previous generation to the next generation, and that is why there is a similarity in the characters. If a mother is having blue eyes, there is a full possibility that the daughter or the son may have a blue eyes. If somebody's mother is having brown eyes, then there is a possibility that the children may have a brown eyes. So we take characters from our father, mother. So this is important to note down, that genes are actually responsible for our characters in our body. Next is that what is the function of it? It regulates the cell cycle. So their functions is that cell cycle. What do you mean by cell cycle? Actually, cell grows in size and ultimately a time comes when cell has to divide. When it divides, the cell, which are new cells are being generated, those cells are going to further grow, and after a particular time period they will also divide. So this cell division, it is a cyclic process which is regulated by nucleus. It controls metabolic activities. So nucleus also controls the metabolic activities, means whatever reactions are going on in a cell, all those reactions are called as metabolic activities. So these reactions are controlled by nucleus. It contains genes which are helpful for the transmission of characters from the parents to offspring. So this is the third function done by nucleus, that they transfer the characters from parents to the offspring. So whatever character parents will have, similar type of characters the offsprings will also have, means their children will also have. But we are taking half of the characters from father and half of the character from mothers. So we are actually a mixture of characters from father and mother. So we have the mixture of it. So we are not totally a true copy of our father, or we are not true copy of our mother. We are taking genes from both, but we have our own combination. So these were the functions of a nucleus that we studied. Vacuoles are the next cell organelle that we need to study, and it's present only in plant cell. and animal cell we don't find this cell organelle, and if at all it is present in very small size. It is a fluid filled membrane. It is present in plant cell. In plant cell, vacuoles are large and permanent. The outer membrane of a vacuole is called as a tonoplast and is filled with fluid cell sap. There are chances that they may be present in animals, but their size is very small and are temporary. Vacuoles are present in animals and are used for storage purpose. So whether in plant cell they are always present. In animal cell either we won't find it, and if we find it, it is present in very small size and very temporary. But in both the cases the function remains the same, that they store material. So the outermost membrane, you can see in the picture, it is tonoplast, and cell sap. So whatever cell is synthesizing, some synthesizing reaction is taking place and we need to store something in it. So cell is going to store it in vacuoles. So it is a storing structure basically. Now the functions of a vacuole, what are the functions it provides? It provides turgidity and rigidity to the cell. So it helps in maintaining the shape. So internally it's going to provide a proper shape to its cell. It's going to help in storing substances. So that is the two functions that vacuoles is going to perform. Cell is regarded as a true biological atom. So biologically, basically all the living organisms are made up of cell. Thank you.